Hey, this is Captain Everyman. I'm here today to talk to you about something that I'm going to use my superpowers, clarity, insight, and perspective to try to clear up today. Black Panther, easily one of my favorite movies all time. And what I want to really address is something I keep hearing about is why did Killmonger shoot his girlfriend in the face? And the answer was obvious to me looking at the film, but I think it wasn't to others. So I want to bring clarity, insight, and perspective on that. Why did he do it? And it all starts with his father, who was a man named Njobu. And he was a member of the royal family. He was a brother of the king at the time, who the king was the father of T'Challa, the Black Panther that we meet in the movie. And it all starts with his disgraceful conduct. When you have a sibling, a brother, a member of your family, you know sometimes something's a little off about them, but you still give them chances because sometimes your love kind of blinds you to who they really are. And that is really what I feel that Njobu was. He was a man who had a lot of flaws, and I'm sure his brother King knew that. But he kept giving him chances, and he wanted to give him a chance to distinguish himself and do right. So he sends him on his mission to serve the country, to be a spy in the United States. And what does the man do? He does everything a spy shouldn't do. First of all, he gets emotionally involved with somebody who's right there in America. And you can imagine what would happen if James Bond fell in love with somebody in one of these countries he's spying in, how that would compromise his ability to do his work. Well, this is exactly what this man does. And then the second thing he does, he has a child by this woman. So all of a sudden, he's tied to where he is now. His loyalties are divided now between his son in this country and his family and his loyalty to Wakanda. He becomes emotionally involved in what's going on in the United States. He's no longer just a spy, and that's what leads him to his disgraceful conduct. He actually betrays Wakanda to the racist apartheid era South African and sends him into Wakanda to steal vibranium for him and come out with it. So supposedly he can use his vibranium to finance some kind of political action in America to try to alleviate the suffering and oppression of black people there. Now, we never know what form this is supposed to take, but what we do know is this man really has no wisdom and mental faculties that would allow him to control it. And that's the danger of vibranium and Wakanda, is that they're keeping this secret because just imagine you lived in a poor neighborhood and suddenly 1,000 gold bars in your basement. Now, no matter what you want to do or what good you might want to do, you're very likely to get killed. And really, there's going to be this struggle for the gold. And whatever good might come of it is going to be overshadowed by the lust for power and money that comes from that. And the same thing is going to happen if vibranium gets out. Well, what he does leads to the deaths of all these Wakandas in his country and the possibility of this South African exposing their secrets. So he's really betrayed Wakanda in a big way. Now, why didn't he just go to the king and talk to him about the problems he saw there? His own brother. You'd think he'd have influence with his own brother, but instead he doesn't do that. And what he does is so disgraceful and horrible that T'Chaka the king comes to make sure it's really true. When he finds him there, instead of manning up and admitting what he's done, he tries to kill James, who, that's the spy name, is really Suri from the movie. He tries to kill him. So T'Chaka intervenes and ends up killing his brother. But he's so embarrassed and disgraced of what his brother's done that he really wants to keep it a secret, so he just leaves. He leaves him there, and he leaves Killmonger there, who's the son of his brother, his nephew. So this is really the foundation of everything, of why he ends up shooting this woman in the face, because he becomes this bitter guy bent on vengeance toward Wakanda because of this. And he hatches his plot to try to get revenge and to try to unleash his anger on the rest of the world. And this plot of the movie all starts with this vibranium artifact in a museum. So what he does, he uses this artifact to flush Claw out. Claw is the man I told you about before who goes into Wakanda and kills all these people and steals the vibranium because his father betrays their secrets. So he uses that to flush Claw out. And Claw comes, sure enough, after he tells him about it, he comes to steal this. So he set it up so that after all these years, Claw's been off the grid. And even though T'Chaka and the new Black Panther, T'Challa, have been wanting to get this guy and execute him most likely, they haven't been able to. But Killmonger flushes him out. He allows the Black Panther to take him captive, and then he comes back and he kidnaps him and takes him away. Now, why would he do that? He does that because he wants to make T'Challa look inept and incompetent in the eyes of his people. And the reason he ends up shooting his girlfriend in the face, and the reason he kills Claw, they're both the same reason, because he can't allow them to know in Wakanda how he's plotted to do this. He has to make it seem like he's just brought justice. He can't make it seem like he's hatched his plot to make T'Challa look bad. He has to make it seem like it's a straight up thing. He can't let the people know who he really is either. So this whole secret is really part of the reason why he shoots the woman. People are saying that, this was his girlfriend and she was like ride or die with him and all that. But let me tell you something, you silly romantics. Somebody who's a megalomaniac, a sociopath, a psychopath, and a narcissist, that's not a lover. There's no really indication he loved this woman. She worked at the museum, and it allowed him access to get in there and interfere with the surveillance equipment and with the alarm so he could pull off the heist. But did he love this woman? I would say no. She was just a stepping stone on his way to Wakanda. And the reason he has to kill Claw is the same reason he has to kill her. Because he has to keep this whole plot silent. It has to look like that T'Challa was inept. So if either one of them ever talks, then that's all uncovered, that he was just a plotting, manipulative guy. And the secret that they're holding is that now he can redefine himself. The secret that Killmonger's holding, he can redefine himself. He's not the son of this guy who betrayed Wakanda and got all these people dead. Imagine if he showed up and all of a sudden that secret's revealed. That this is what happened. But T'Chaka and T'Challa have kept that secret. In fact, T'Challa didn't know about it too recently. But he doesn't really want people to know how disgraceful that his uncle was. He wants to keep that a secret. He doesn't want that to bleed over into the rest of his family by association either. So when Killmonger shows up, he doesn't say a word about it. Now, if he had just shown up and didn't have Claw's body, maybe that would have come out. But if he shows up and Claw's alive, the big mouth that guy had, he's immediately going to talk about the plots. He's going to start talking about how Killmonger did all that. Now this guy's working with me. He'd try to drag Killmonger down with him because obviously he's done. So he had to kill him to shut him up. Now the girlfriend, he couldn't take her because the same thing would happen. They would question her, what's your involvement, what happened, and eventually that would come out of interrogation. Now you can't leave her behind either because Wakanda has his spies all over the world. And eventually that would be uncovered by them also. So the long story short, he kills his girlfriend because she's not really his girlfriend. She's just somebody he's using, just a stepping stone to get into Wakanda. There's no love here, there's no romance here. This man is manipulative, he's a sociopath. He's not somebody who's going to fall in love and be devoted. Everybody he gets involved with basically is just somebody he's using to manipulate him. He's a torn, broken man. He doesn't have that capacity. So the main reason, the real reason, the only reason he's involved with her is because he's using her to get what he wants. And once he's done with her, she becomes a liability, and he has to keep her quiet. And the only way he can make sure that neither Claw or her speak is to kill him. So he does it. And he had always intended on doing that. Perhaps he was going to kill Claw first and then shoot her in the back of the head later unexpectedly. But because Claw grabs a hold of her, he kind of forces his hand and it's over with. He just shoots both of them, and that's the end of it.